Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me. On this episode of Build Your Own, we're going to take a quick first look review of the new upcoming 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLB compact crossover SUV. Before we do that, I just want to remind you that if you find this review helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Slotting into the narrow space between the GLA-Class and the GLC-Class is the 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLB-Class compact crossover SUV. But this Mini Ute pulls its boxier styling from the vaunted GLE and G-Class SUVs. I expect the GLB to be on sale by the end of 2019. The 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLB rides on a wheelbase that is 5.1 inches longer than the GLA and 1.7 inches shorter than the GLC, yet it is the first Mercedes-Benz compact to offer available third-row seating. Under the hood of the 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLE is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out 221 horsepower. All right, the engine is paired with an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, and either front or all-wheel drive is available. Mercedes-Benz estimates that the 0 to 60 time of the 2020 GLB SUV is about 6.9 seconds for its performance. The cabin of the 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLB-Class borrows heavily from the recently introduced A-Class sedan, not surprisingly since it shares a common platform with Mercedes-Benz's smallest car. What is surprising is what passengers will find inside the interior of the 2020 GLB-Class, a third row of seats. Yep, a third row of seats in a very small SUV. I imagine there won't be room for adults to get comfortable in this third row, but will be a handy jump seat when an extra passenger needs a lift or for smaller individuals, such as children. Mercedes-Benz's new MBUX infotainment system is on hand to provide connectivity via its dual displays. Each display is either 7 inches or 10.3 inches, depending on the model. The display is front of the driver. The display that's in front of the driver serves as a reconfigurable gauge, as we can see over here, and it looks very great. The resolution is incredible, while the central one handles the radio, the phone, the navigation. It's the infotainment side of the MBUX. Very nice. Okay, let's jump into this real quick first look review of this upcoming 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLB-Class. I guess the first thing I have to do is almost laugh because it's almost bananas how Mercedes and BMW are coming out with models that are basically stacked right on top of each other, that are basically the same thing, just to try to compete in every niche and micro niche. Now, that aside, this new GLB looks great. It looks very high-end in here. Yeah, let's take a little deeper look. They don't have a whole bunch to say on the site, but there are some gallery images, and they do have a little bit of information, so let's dig into it. Okay, so let's talk about these features that this new 2020 GLB SUV will have. They say that there's going to be a lot of generous cargo space, and here's what's interesting. It says you can move the second row forward up to 6 inches, and the seat backs can be folded in a variety of configurations. That's cool. We know that there's that available third row that you can have this car trimmed out as, and that can seat 7 people. Now, the third row isn't very big, so you might only want to have children in that third row, but it's a 3-row compact SUV nonetheless. Now, they say if you get the 2-seat or the 5-person version of this, you don't get the third row. This has an ample 11 inches of travel space. I guess that's second row. Instead of 6 inches of travel space that they're saying here, you get 11 inches of travel space for maximum flexibility. So the utility inside this new 2020 GLB is seemingly on point, I guess. So here they're talking about some exterior features of the 2020 Mercedes GLB. They're letting us know that it's got a striking stance. It's got an off-road heritage. There's LED headlamps. There's protective body cladding, that plastic cladding that's sort of kind of on the bottom. We'll take a look at the gallery in a little bit. And distinctive overhangs. We'll talk about that. And they're letting us know that creates a powerful impression. We know that, as I said in the beginning, you can get this in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Mercedes calls their all-wheel drive 4MATIC, and the 4MATIC variant has what they call the off-road engineering package. And this will adapt the engine's power delivery and braking system for optimal trailblazing. But the reality is, as we know, most people in an SUV, these SUVs never see any off-roading whatsoever. Maybe they touch some grass every now and again. Okay, here they want to tell us more about the technology and all of that of the new upcoming GLB. Now, it's got the latest driver assistance systems. That's pretty cool. As far as that media system, it's got a wide screen cockpit. If I scroll back up, like I said, we're going to take a look at the gallery here in a second, but we can see that wide screen, and yeah, it's got a good visual there. So you got that widescreen cockpit, and that's going to be controlled by the new Mercedes-Benz user experience system, right? That's a touch screen, and it's got a touch screen with touchpad controls, and there's also you can also use conventional conversational commands to access vehicle features, and the system learns from your preferences to personalize your experience. So that's pretty interesting. A lot of cool features and technology on this upcoming GLB. And speaking of features, Mercedes lays out some nice key highlights for us. I kind of showed this in the introduction, but now we can slow down and actually take a look at this. So we know about the engine. I think it's a carryover engine. I don't think it's a brand new engine. I'm pretty sure it's the same engine out of the CLA. It's a 2-liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Makes 221 horse, 258 pound-feet of torque. That's respectable, especially for a vehicle of this size. It's got a top speed of 130 miles an hour, which is fine. It's never going to probably see 80 miles an hour for most people. It does come in 4MATIC, and if you get it with the all-wheel drive 4MATIC, then that comes with the off-road engineering package. And this vehicle is available. That doesn't mean it's standard. The word available means there's optional. The optional latest generation advanced driver assistance systems, you can get it on this vehicle, but it's not all standard. All right. And over here on design, of course, we know about that new Mercedes-Benz user experience that has voice control, that does the simple commands. There's a multimedia system based on artificial intelligence, including AMG-specific features. There's ambient lighting with 64 colors. There's that second row that's got a 40-20-40 split configuration along with a standard length adjustment of 5.5 inches. But depending on how you trim it out, that can change, as we know. It's got LED headlamps, smartphone integration, and yeah, you can get it with the available third row, as we know. Let's take a look at the gallery. So they don't have a lot of photos of this new GLB, but you know, in the beginning of this video, I showed the photos of the other Mercedes models that I mentioned, and man, it sure is close to those other ones. But like I said, BMW and Mercedes are trying to shoehorn in on every niche and micro niche, but this one right here is actually really beautiful. Look at this interior. There's a heads-up display here. The wood, the trim, the wood in here looks very nice on the interior. The leather seats, if it is leather, looks very nice. If it's not leather, then the MB text has gone way upscale. But yeah, it is quite nice in here. Here's another shot of the interior of our 2020 GLB SUV. Oh, this one's showing a little carbon fiber. This must be the AMG trim package. Now, I'm not sure what trim levels are going to be, what configurations. Is it going to be, I've done a little bit of reading, and all I've ever read is there might be a GLB 250 that's coming out. Is it going to be a 300? Other designations, I'm not really sure. Everybody's basically just calling it the new GLB. So is it going to be a GLB 250, a 300? I'm not really sure. Here's a nice shot of that third row. and that looks great. Yeah. So yeah, that was a quick first look of the 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLB. It certainly is shoehorned in between all those other SUVs, boy. But I guess there's a market for it. But you know what? When it does come out and we can do a full build and price review, I will be doing a build and price review. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe right now. Right where my cursor is, right here, right down here. Hit that subscribe button, my friend. Become a subscriber. Join the club. Get in the cool kids club. And we could talk cars. I love to talk cars. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up. Cool car. I think it is. Do I think the car is required? I don't really know. I can't say all that because they've got so many SUVs. It all starts to be a blur for me after a while because a lot of them look the same. But the interior of this GLB is on point, and the exterior is quite attractive, and I'm sure in its AMG trim, it's going to be very beautiful. We saw one with the little carbon fiber inlay and the thicker steering wheel. So yeah, I'm sure the AMG variant is going to be very, very nice. Maybe they'll do a GLB 43 or a GLB 53 or something like that. Speaking of which, I have done quite a few Mercedes-Benzes, and I have already put a link up to my Mercedes-Benz playlist. Check out some of those videos if you would, please. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this video up. So, like I said, if you found this quick first look review helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to tell you to have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the very next video.